Hey, awesome. Looks like our stream is rolling. Some settings had changed. They're constantly changing things on YouTube. So there we go. Just had to get into our live stream and try to share the URL a little bit. See if a few folks are out there. Um, Share on our page. I got a few specific things in mind today. Random Tuesday stream. Okay. All right. Okay. Actually, there is no JD Strider. Not quite sure why that thumbnail is popping up. It's a configurational thing. Haven't heard from old JD in a bit. I guess he's off in Canada land learning guitar and jamming out and whatnot. But yeah, haven't heard from him in a while. But I'm going to leave that. I'll change that thumbnail a little bit later. Um, let's see. Boom. Yeah, it's always a little bit awkward setting this up once the stream starts, but gotta do it. Gotta do it. I'm going to share a little bit of a that studio. I got my places I like to share. I've got to fix that thumbnail. Okay, so I would think it would be showing the actual stream itself, but not so. Not so, not so. Um, Got to share it on all of my pages as well. The exciting stuff, me breathing into the microphone. Okay, so I'm going to wait till someone pops on, and in the meantime, I'm going to start working on a character in FaceGen, which I really love FaceGen. It's, in my estimation, far superior to the other tools out there for creating. Just occurs to me, I actually have to come up with a let's see, that is that set to window capture? It's set to window capture. Why am I not seeing what I expect to see here? Okay, we could. I wonder if I can share the app with you. Um, let's add another scene. Scene 4. Boy, OBS is pretty amazing. Capture source, video capture device, window capture. There we go. That should do it. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so you see FaceGen here, and so many years ago, actually, it was the first thing I ever wrote and directed. I was part of a filmmaking group, And when you're starting out, there's a certain amount of swagger that you kind of have to get people to come out and dedicate their time to working with you on a project. And my friend JT, aka Strebo, was very, very good at this, and I worked with him on a couple big projects where we managed to just get people to pour hours and hours of their time into, and it was a lot of fun. It actually lasted for 6 freaking years. At the end of that, I felt that I had a story to tell, so I wrote this piece of work called Respawner. It's basically about a demon that curses a particular family, and when the eldest child tends to get it, and basically anytime that they're killed, this demon sort of respawns them, and it's like a temporary gateway to Earth for this demon to come and wreak havoc, and kill anyone involved with harming them or just anybody in the vicinity. And then in exchange, when it kind of goes back through to hell through their body, it restores them. Hence the term respawner. Years later, I realized that you cannot call anything. You can't. Nothing can have the word spawn in it, basically because Todd McFarlane is one of the most litigant mofos on the planet, and that just would never work because he would sue the crap out of you. But anyway, this being a no budget project, it wasn't a problem, and I kept moving forward with it, and it was actually the first thing I ever shot. So I got a bunch of friends like this guy. Um, Now I'm not going to mention his name because he asked me not to, because he does not celebrate Halloween anymore, even though Respawner has nothing to do with Halloween apart from the time that it's a scary kind of thing. So his character was called Thrasher in this film. That's the first thing I ever wrote and directed, and it kind of holds up. I mean, like, I went with old school, real special effects for the demon and the carnage and all that, and I was pretty happy with how it turned out. And actually got a lot of people really buzzed about it, and were able to shoot other things after it, kind of on the strength of it. It was supposed to be a reel builder. The concept was a reel builder for a friend of mine that was trying to be an actress, and we shot it in an afternoon, and then everybody wanted to be involved, so we made like a little 30-minute feature that eventually got cut down to, I think, about 13 minutes. But it was really ambitious, and the idea was it was going to be the pilot for a online web series. That never worked out because of jealousy and whatnot, which happens with filmmakers, I'm afraid. And I really didn't have the wherewithal to pull something like that off. Anyway, I was lucky to get what I got, but it was kind of like kicked off my filmmaking journey, and so I still have like a fond place for it in my heart. And as I make products in 3D, I oftentimes am inspired by things that I created, or my friends and I created. And this actually was released today. It's a demon kit for Genesis 8 female. I mean, Genesis 8 male, sorry. And it basically stacks on top of any male shape. So that's the cool thing. You get these awesome teeth and this geometry and these demon fingers, and you can stack it. There's glowing options. You can stack it at various percentages, so you get all these really cool effects out of it. And it's generally pretty dope if you're looking to make a demon. Um, and actually, in the story, the backstory, you don't actually see this in the movie. Well, you do see a flash of it. There is actually a male demon, but it was the predecessor to the girl that basically kind of stars in that. And then as far as that product, that was kind of inspired by that. Again, can't call it Respawner, Todd McFarlane. So it's called the Demon Israfel character and Universal Kit. You do get the full character, but also it's kittable, just like it's kind of the focus of it. And this is like geoshell technology with presets to set it at various levels. And you'll notice that it takes on the shape and coloration of the character that you put it on top of. So it's pretty cool in that way. I can't think of another product out there like it. Now, at the end of this stream, I'm going to actually show you the film, or at least part of it, and point you to where you can watch the whole thing on your own. But just inspiration from one medium inspiring another medium has kind of been the thing. And actually, not for nothing, but this has been a very popular character. Hence me making the male version of it. This right here, you'll see, is highly inspired from a frame in the actual film. If you watch the film, as is this, and there may be more from this scene. I'm actually right now working on a pose kit, 50 pose kit to kind of recreate some of the sequences with her and the attackers and stuff from the actual film. It's just fun stuff, guys, and it's like I do tend to keep revisiting this one because it was my first. I have a lot of other properties out there that I'm trying to kind of carry forward in Renderosity, and as I climb the artist ranking and it becomes a little more feasible to spend money and get folks to help me make things that I can't make, you get to see more and more of that as long as folks keep buying it. So there you go. Anywho, I wanted to make a character out of actually, that's a good example right there. So this wonderful render was made for me by Vicky Leversage, aka Hedge Witchery, and she's awesome. She recreated this scene from the film for me. Although it's mirrored here, it is actually a scene that's kind of like almost directly one for one from the film, just a different angle. And very, very inspiring stuff. But I wanted to create this character based on photos of the actor that played the character. Now, my friend, aka Thrasher, he'll laugh if he ever sees this. Um, that's not his name, obviously, and he's not really an actor. Now, this is the genius of using your friends. Sometimes you get absolute shit performances. Now, that's just me being real with you. Um, Other times, however, you get something like the case with good old Thrasher here, and he is not a pretentious dude, and it's kind of like if you know the guy, he says 100% what he thinks all the time. Zero inhibitions about speaking his mind. And he was so humble and cool on the day. He actually just really did a good job, and it was one of those happy surprises. Who thought old Thrasher could actually act? But he did. He did a great job. I find lots of times people, when you ask them to scream in films, they're conscientious about how they sound and they do not want to let it go. I've seen this with girls, the ingenues, they're supposed to be the scream queens of your production. Time and time again, not willing to just cut loose and scream. Old Thrasher here, he had no such compunction, let me tell you. And it really shows and pays off great in the show. And let me go back one. I like to get on the front of the chin there a little bit. I will mention this. He snapped these photos for me today, and I did flip the one on one side, like left and right, because it was, the other one was not as evenly lit. And he was using the front-facing camera, so that which you should do because it gives you a higher resolution image, and so was able to get some decent source from him, and hopefully it'll work out really good here. We're seeing what FaceGen's going to do for us. So let's see how it goes. And hey, not a bad result. Not a bad result. Now I find that if you take a minute once you get your base result, this is definitely passable. Once you get your base result, you take a moment and look at your source material really closely, particularly around the nose. There's some little tricks here that you can do with FaceGen that kind of that reads as him for sure. But looking at the nose, actually it kind of nailed the nose. He does have a bit of a turned up nose, and I think it's control click. Yeah, control click. And we're going to just kind of adjust that a little bit. Lots of times you will find the photography does not line up. You can fix this manually. Open it up to the texture, generated texture in Photoshop. But just take that moment to kind of the nasolabial fold is super accurate right here. That's cool. It lined up perfectly. Um, got a bit of a kind of a grimace all the time. Let's see if we can. I'm good with that actually. So now we want to export. Let's get a little. Well, first off, I'm going to save this because I actually want to keep up with this. By the way, when you save, so I actually do have these pictures. Let's say I lost these pictures someday and I wanted to recreate this character on a new install of DAZ Studio. I would simply just need to have the. My wife asked me while I'm talking. I'm streaming. So you know how when you talk to customers, you're like so nice. Yes, you do. Um, so I'm going to save this FG file because it actually keeps those photographs. Once you have the SG file saved, FG file saved, you do not have to have the source photographs. They are included. So we're going to go to which tablet is it? Which tile is it? Edit file, export. There we go. So this is very important. I typically export my working characters to my main Dash Studio folder because I want the morph to go into that data. So anywhere that I work, in any of those libraries, I'll be able to draw on this to make this face shape when I set up the character. Now that I'm looking at that, I'm not as happy with that nose. Let's pull it down just a little bit. I digress. So instead of the main one, I'm going to actually, first off, you need to tell it male. It defaults to female lots of times, so I'm going to call it by the character's name since we're hiding his name. Mr. I don't like Halloween. Um, there we go, Thrasher. Now the reason that I'm putting it in its own folder is because I want to zip up this character with as little effort as possible. This is actually kind of an experiment for me too. I haven't done it this way quite before, but I'm going to export all of the data into this single folder so it'll already be, I don't have to go track it down. So we're going to hit export and let it do its work. I'm going to have a sip of tea while that's running. Still nobody in the chat. Shocker. Get a haircut and get a real job. Okay. All right, so this is the information we need. I find that copying from this is really weird. It's a little bit of a bug. So I'll just copy that one time, then I'll open Notepad. And then I will paste that in. This just helps when you're setting up the character. Hopefully this worked. So what you're going to need basically is this path right here so you can get to your textures as you apply them. And so copy that. Control C, okay. And we're going to go just load in a basic. Actually, let's close Dash Studio and reopen it. Sometimes that's a good idea. Alright, this is so ugly. Sorry about that, you guys. Obviously, there are plenty of tutorials out there on FaceGen if you want to get a little deeper into it. I always have Pro. I recommend it. All I hear, and even like the new version of Dash Studio, which to be frank, I have not tried yet. I'm sure it's cool to have this sort of functionality built in, but I have heard a lot of things about that functionality being limited to 2 or 3. Hopefully, I'm really hopeful that that gets like FaceGen level, because it would be awesome to be able to do all that from within Dash Studio. I really hope that works out, but I think it's a third-party software that works a little bit different. So, and when you're parent, you don't have to have one photograph. You don't have to have the profile photograph, which is awesome because that means you could pull up a lot of celebrities where you weren't able to find exact types of photos that you needed. So we're just going to go load a Genesis 8 mail dev version. Developer kits. You know what? I'll just load the regular one. No, I will load the dev because I don't want the colors to come in. I don't want the Actually, you know what? I just remembered something. Let's load the basic one so we do get the teeth and all that, because FaceGen does not create that stuff for you. It kind of counts on you using the pre-existing, some of the pre-existing maps. So good, glad that I thought of that. Vegetable beef soup, baby. With Genesis 8 selected, parameters dial. I'll start to type in the character, and there it is. Now I find that a good rule of thumb is you never want to use the that's interesting. It doesn't. It's not just a head shape. It's a body shape. Um, you never want to use it at 100%. So I'm going to go with like 70, 80. It's an eyeball sort of thing. Main character selected. Go down to surfaces. Surfaces. Now this actually kind of walks you through what you need. So we're going to start out with ears, eye socket, face, and lips. Ears. I'm pressing Control, eye socket, face, and lips. I'm going to go right here. Now it will put me in the default folder for those default textures. I'm going to put myself over into that path that I copied. And again, if you look at this, ears, eye socket, face, lips, I know that I need face.jpg. So there we go. And you see kind of the likeness right away. He doesn't have blue eyes, so that's an obvious issue. So iris, pupil, sclera is our next one. So iris, pupil, sclera, and it will kind of look more like him innately just by doing that. It's crazy how much the eyes. Oh, of course we need eyes. Now, if there's one thing that FaceGen doesn't do that great of a job at, it's the eyes, but I'm going to show you my little tricks for that here in a second. So then we want, so now so things like teeth, it doesn't really account for. It lets you, it's looking for you to use the default ones because basically that's the same on everybody as far as your characters go. So then we're just going to select torso, match that to torso, torso, torso. Now, one thing, had I done the version where I was going to make all original textures and started with a dev, none of these maps would be loaded. So once I put this path in, it would go to that path every time. Torso, then arms and legs. Arms become arms. Now, actually, arms are also fingernails. So since it does generate those, we might as well see the fingernails are on there. So we may as well just use arms and fingernails. So I add that. Now note that's not mentioned right there because you don't have to do it, and it's presuming that you'll have default. But let's say you wanted to put blood on the fingernails or something of that nature. This is where you would do that. So there we go. Arms, and then likewise legs and toenails. Legs and toenails. Boom. Legs, legs. Okay. So that is Thrasher for you at a glance. Um, he had a shaved head. I'm going to look for a hair there's one hair out there that I really like for that. Taking another sip of soup here. 1 second. Just going to throw a bit of a default pose on him. Ah, very goofy. Very goofy. Sort of like my wife talking to me when I'm in the middle of a stream. There we go. Much better. Now I am strictly zipping this up for my convenience to be able to save the character. I already kind of made this stuff. So now I won't have to install anything. I could just zip this up, put it on my server, my Dropbox, whatever, and I'll always be able to get to the base Thrasher character preset, Thrasher. There we go. Now there's stuff wrong with this, so we're gonna fix that after we save the character preset. But first, and I always like to do this right away, I don't want that crappy unrendered thumbnail. So we change our and kind of talking. Not really talking when I do this. You guys have seen me do it 100 times. Simply rendering the thumbnail. Talk while we work. Well, that's unfortunate. I realize I have not been streaming the display. Yeah, absolutely sucks. Window capture. Why are you not showing? Yeah, that's weird. Multi-adapter compatibility. There we go. How about that? Sorry about that, guys. At least we figured it out. In other news, Les is about to sit down for lunch. That was really, really boring. Man, this soup is really good. Okay, so hopeful. Well, that's interesting. Why is that not capture? Title must match. No. Oh, this is weird. Defaults. Okay, we gotta figure some stuff out here. Man, I haven't. They've made some. Sorry, they've made some changes with the way these captures work. Let's just get rid of some of this stuff. We're definitely using that. Window capture. So it's not window capture. It's display capture. Duh. Sorry. Golly gee whiz. Okay, that should straighten out here directly. Man, hadn't done this in a minute, fellas and females. Yeah, like females do this as a hobby. No, actually they do. They're usually the better renderers, I find. So anyway, here we are. We've created our Thrasher, and this is really all I need to zip up. So like if I were to go to this folder that I've created, the data, which is going to be your face gen data, it's all in here. There it is, Thrasher. So as long as this is installed in the install a DAS and link to the library where I'm trying to create, use this, I can basically do this anytime. Um, so now I'm just going to go just add it to a zip file, which I'll later put on my Dropbox. And Bob's your uncle. That's how you distribute, this, character among your friends or to yourself or whatever. So let's talk about fixing these eyeballs with Photoshop. Yeah, the restaurant that we got this, I'm not going to name them, but I might. We got the soup from today. They used to be amazing. This Greek couple owns it, and they are really good cooks. But unfortunately, time has gone on. The business is. They used to actually employ me to play music there quite a lot too, so I really appreciate them. But the business has fallen off, and I think now they're trying to sell it, and the food has really slipped, and we more or less stopped eating there. But today. Got really good soup there, so hopefully they'll turn it around. I do apologize for eating on the stream, but just pretend I'm Dreamlight. Okay, so let's pull it in real close here and get a look at what the problem is. I'm going to turn this light on just for illustrating this problem. So the problem is the eyelid is rendering on the eyeball. We can't have that. So I'm going to go back to our source imagery. I'll open this up. Now, that's kind of harsh. There's some HDR, not HDR, sorry. There are some products out there for eyes that are far better than this method right here. Macro Eyes is one that I really like, so I will plug that. You can get that at Daz. Um, so I'm not really worried much about this being like a high resolution photo. Um, if you want that, you can go get Macro Eyes. I'm just giving me something to kind of like um, clone the right color, I guess is what I'm trying to. So once you put this in place, you can just kind of clone bigger. Basically, the iris and the white of the eyes is all that's being taken from this. So we can kind of clone it bigger than it needs to be. I'm already hating how much time this is taking. What's happening here? Photoshop's getting a little laggy. Tell you another thing you could do. My whole goal, I'm not redistributing this character. Brown eyes, close up. I'm not redistributing this character at all. Okay, not what I wanted. So that being the case, I don't feel so bad about like grabbing like a eyeball image. Um, you can work around stuff like that, obviously. Because all I really need is that brown copy image. Uh, Obviously, if you were reselling this, you couldn't legally do that, but that's not what I'm up to here. I'm simply wanting to replace those crappy looking brown irises from the photo, which was a phone photo, not very high res, and there was no forward facing flash, so Alan, like me, is a little squinty. Oh! I didn't say that. Thrasher, like me, is a little squinty. Dang! I'm trying so hard. You guys did not hear that. Expand. Perfect. Control C. There we go. Turn that mess off. Now, boom. Let's make that a little bit transparent so we can see what we're doing. Just pull it down to the right size. Oh yeah. Photoshop doing what Photoshop does, baby. Yeah, it was good. Thank you. Okay. I am on a live stream, Nancy. Thank you for sharing proprietary information. Actually, I'm probably not going to leave this video up, guys. It's just too much junk. I'm just kind of like doing it uh, to have some new content, but then, I didn't think I was going to be interrupted so much. So much. I really got to wrap this up because I don't want to. I'm going to do this for each of the main characters that I can. Um, for the I'm doing like a maybe like a little bit higher end CG work for like kind of a spin-off of, not a spin-off, really more of like a promotional stuff using characters from Respawner, because I've got these two characters out now for sale, and just kind of as something cool for Halloween to, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, right? So let's go back and look at this a second here. So it seems like the eyelid definitely was coming on those. So I'm going to go ahead and clamp that down and see if that fixed it. It might be this right here needs to be adjusted, and I'm not sure, but I'm going to close that and see if that solved our problem. So, so we've got Thrasher. So there he is. Refresh. Now I should be able to just close the program. Nope. Reopen it, and it should all be good. I'm gonna eat while this happens. Better, but still not perfect. Boy. I could have done this faster just using macro eyes, but the point is to not have to install anything when I sorry about that. I narrowly avoided coughing into the microphone. That would have been unpleasant for all of us. Okay, so I think it's this area that I need to kind of fill in with white. So let's turn all this around. Turn this around. Make our love strong. I really have to get back to my production work. Okay. Turn this around. That's kind of what I'm looking for right there, I think. gonna be done with Photoshop either way. I'm gonna move on with this. Let's just close this. Close some of this stuff out. Yeah. Double click this. I could have been playing some music, I guess. Okay. Alright. Yeah, okay, cool. That fixed the problem. So we no longer have that weirdo little eye lid business going on. And it's all inclusive, so that's pretty cool. I'm happy with that. Now, I'm going to add dash products to it, but the point of this exercise was just have the character where he's in a zipped up format where I can just hand him off to myself on another computer, and yeah. Um, I don't know that it looks that much like him, but it'll be close enough for rock and roll. Yeah. Okay, so. Alright. Let's go back. I want to kind of include these source pictures with them no matter what. And actually the FG file too, so Control C. And I'm going to kind of go down here to close this. Go browse the folder. Thresher, we'll just call it source files. Source files. There we go. Now, delete that one. Now, add to zip. And Bob's your uncle. That character will now be reproducible in DAZ Studio current version and up. And all I have to do is unzip that into any other library. So that's pretty cool. Then I just start kit bashing or whatever to add the clothes that I want, and yeah, it's perfect. I'm happy with that. And just to prove it, I'm going to kind of go put it in my primary library for my Disciple3D stuff. So now, hey, good old Thrasher is going to be available at my beck and call whenever I want to build him out with all the data that I need. Boom. So, where, pray tell, would I take this next? Sorry. I guess what I would do is I would dispense with this library, since that's just the build library. Go to my primary library, and where I just put him, people. Now in this one, because I have other products installed, I can kind of start to kit bash. Um, do 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 do. What? Characters. Well, that's interesting. I may have done something wrong with the pathing. Let me just double check that. Thrasher, people, Genesis 8 male. Oh, I see what it is. Disciple3D. I didn't really need to do that. There we go. Why were those not there? Because I thought they were there. Rendo, Thrasher, Runtime, Textures, SpaceGen. gets curiouser and curiouser. Thrasher runtime textures, but they're not. They are not missing. Alright, well, just grab this. To prove they're not missing, we will go here. Daz Studio Libraries. Unless it's somehow looking for them in the old path, which I don't know why it would. Runtime. Textures. Disciple3D. You know what? Let's just freaking drop it right there. Like it's hot. Yes, so they're there, but it's not looking for them there. They're already there. Weird. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna go here. Maybe if I show it to one, it will find the others automatically. Disciple3D, Fishgen, face. The other layer of path seems to be confusing it, but hopefully that's weird because it's actually showing them all up but saying it's not there. Anyway, we don't have time for that. We're gonna move on. We want a, let's see here. I know that there is a, let's go to Daz Studio real quick. I mean Daz 3D, sorry. I don't know how I ever bookmarked that cart checkout. Let's see what's going on today at Dazo. Oh man, another sale. Oh, what? Another sale, another sale. Hey, those are some truly. Oh, this is a new one that Les did. Yeah. Oh man, that's neat. I ain't paying for that though. He'll hook me up, hopefully. Uh, that's cool though. What a great price. Obviously, kind of a tribute to the Winona Ryder character in Beetlejuice. Oh, cool. Alright, yeah, I like that, man. That's cool. Gotta keep your eyes, man, open on Daz. They will drop some cheap quality on you at times. I think these are usually the buyouts, but, you know, buyouts are not. I mean, wow, that's awesome. I tend to go for scenes like this, but doggone it, my machine has trouble. I gotta get a better video card. I think that's like everybody's thing. I like those comprehensive environments. Ultimate Clothing Fixer for Genesis 3. Anywho, that's not what we're here for. We're not here to spend money, we're here to make money. Just kidding. Product library. I believe there's a character. Overalls, let's see. Overalls. FG overalls. No, that's not it. Oh, that's not exactly it, but that does look cool. It's coveralls, isn't it? Coveralls. Let's do a general search for coveralls. I know I have a product that looks like what I want, and it's from Iron Man, and it's Warehouse, I think, but it's Genesis 2 Warehouse uniform, and it's kind of for a female. So that's a possibility. We could make that work for that character, but let's see what we got here. Coveralls. Ooh, these are much better. That's much more like what I want. Coveralls. I mean, by nature, they're actually in the film. They're actually very, very plain. They're actually green. It's the cheapest thing we could. Actually, I think he already had these. I didn't have to buy these, so that's cool. Very, very plain. Gonna get on with our kit bash here. Not exactly what I want, but close. So there's an opening scene in bum, 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 bum. There's an opening scene of the film where you can see a good shot of the coveralls that Thrasher wears. Um, Here they are. So they are kind of like short sleeved. It doesn't have to be exactly this, but it's closer the better. And the warehouse worker ones actually aren't that far off from that. There's a scene here that I really like. Um, kind of where they're dragging her in. Thrasher. I think I'm gonna have to go with the warehouse ones and just see how that works. Daz install manager. Oh, that's taking its own sweet time coming up. What's going on? I always want to I always want to try to see if you can make what you got work before you spend that money. So, for some reason, I am not seeing my extra details here. Show details. There it is. Show file list. So that's going to be inside of Genesis 3 female clothing warehouse uniform. Genesis 3 female clothing. Yeah, I have messed up my MySQL or whatever on this machine. I cannot get smart content working. So I now have to, use that program to figure out where things are. But I don't know. This is the way that. Oh, I didn't think about prisoner clothing. That actually might work pretty good too. But let's try the warehouse first. Warehouse uniform. Thinking this could actually work 'cause it's got the boots with it. But let's see. Genesis 3. Gotta love you some auto fit. Okay, so let's see what we can do in the way of customizing this. Um, Overall, snaps undershirt. I think I can just turn that off. Looks pretty girly. There we go. Now this isn't so bad. Especially if I had a t-shirt on underneath that. Why is he so shiny? Wow. Um, Thrasher. Let's just, for backup's sake, go ahead and save this build scene of him. That way, if I crash or something like that, scenes. Thrasher kit bash. And always get back without having to start over. And let's see how terrible this boots. The boots worked out okay. So we're going to go with this one. And our matte options are. Let's see what the matte option is for gray. Boom. I'm down with that. Actually, that looks pretty good. I just had to go back and turn off that shirt again. Boom. Now, as far as him, he's too shiny. So, I'll tell you what. Uh, I believe it's in materials. Let's see. There's a product that I swear by for really getting your characters tweaked out. It's called Anagenesis. And it is freaking awesome. DAZ Studio script. So shader presets, there we go. We want shader presets. I kind of forgot where it was at, to be honest with you. Who's it? Who makes that? Right under shader presets. Okay. And .g. Oh, here we go. This is freaking genius right here, and I'm not even like just saying that. That's really cool. Okay, so we'll just use the latest version of the script. He's obviously Genesis 8. Boom, right there. So now, glossiness. I don't want it to be so glossy. Or bright, low level, ultra low level. Dark skins. Pores. I like a lot of pores. Oh, I know why that light's on. Sorry, guys. It's the stupid settings that I had to see his eyeball. That should fix that. Just take a quick render. See what's going on. Man, that vegetable soup hit the spot. Okay. Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, so let's go back and look at the screeny for a second here. And another thing that I see that he's got, I actually made a point of buying this for the character, is he has this, like, he's a thug in a chop shop, and he has this gun holster, shoulder strap gun holster. That might be kind of tough to this character also has it, to reproduce fully, but I'm going to make an effort. You can really see it right here. Let's go to Daz. That is actually a cool looking jumpsuit though, if I was in the market for one. Shoulder holster. Now, I seem to remember it might have been a Genesis character. Ah, haha. Excellent character clothing right there. Um, so let's go Bad Guy. There's a character called Bad Guy for Genesis, I believe, that has what we're looking for, and I think I own that, so I probably should go into my library just to kind of narrow it down. I tell you, I don't love the search at Daz. It's a little bit tough to use sometimes, especially when you're going way back to the 80s, like Three Times Lady, Bad Guy, and Bad Guy for M4. Okay, I have this for multiple. Let's see if that's just an outfit he's wearing. Let's see what's included. Ah, here we go. Belt holster. Yeah. So that's close enough right there. We could actually make that work. So this is how I kit bash, guys. It's a Bad Guy for M4. I swear I think there's a version of that character. Come on, Shmei. Shmei's got some good stuff. I own a bunch of it. Um, bad guy, bad guy. I thought there was a bad guy for Genesis. I swear I do. But maybe not. I actually love the Genesis character. And by the way, not for nothing, I have a really cool werewolf out for Genesis. Okay, we're going to install that. Bad guy. Ah, bad guy for Genesis. There it is. I would much rather have this version, but not going to pay that. Wait till it's on sale. Yeah. Ostensibly, though, it should work the same. Cool, cool, cool stuff. But yeah, I've got a cool looking werewolf that's out for a Genesis, and it just took too long getting it out. But, you know, it hangs around. Wolf, I need to do another render to make people aware of that around Halloween. Actually, I should do a deep sale on that around Halloween. It's called Wolf and Enhanced. That product has a long, long story. Initially, Renderosity rejected that product because there's a movie called Wolfen. And I was like, but guys, it's not a movie. It's a werewolf for Genesis. It's not the same thing. And so I also had some things about it I didn't like, and I kind of got with Les about helping me kind of make it more the product that I wanted it to be, which eventually he did, and I'm very, very, very stoked about it. I still use it from time to time. Of course, there's some really awesome werewolves out there. It's not my go-to, but yeah, this is kind of back before D-Force hair was a thing, and so this strand-based hair looks really good. And yeah, I mean, I'm just pretty chuffed with it. And yeah, I need to like throw some more renders out there for it, but it's very fun to work with. Genesis just being the ultimate universal figure, male or female. I just like to have the old characters for them. There's some cool Midnight Story stuff out there for that character. Um, a lot of fun to play with. But anyway, I digress. I resubmitted it as Wolfen Enhanced. Guess what? Went through without a hitch. I should mention that JD Strider is on this product because he created smart content for it and submitted it for me. Okay, so back to the chase. We got bad guy installed. I don't know why sometimes it tends to stop right there. I don't know. I don't get that. There we go. Okay, so now it's installed. Just click on it, figure out where it's at. Now, see, sometimes this is going to be poser product. This is an issue right here that I don't dig. It's a poser product, which is kind of why I wanted the Genesis one. But, it is what it is. If the Genesis one had been like, probably $8, I would have got it anyway. But it's. So let's see. That doesn't really have IRA either. I can do the same thing with what I got here. Just have to go to it about it a different way. So it's going to be a poser product. So even though Poser has kind of gone the way of the dodo in my humble estimation, I'm still hopeful that when certain parties stop trying to just milk it, for branding update, eventually they'll make significant updates to it and it can be a competitor again. I'm hopeful, but we'll see. I mean, so far that program has been treated like just a commodity to try to squeeze dollars out of. The updates have not been anything significant for a long, long, long time. Library's character Smay. Okay, here we go. Okay, libraries. Uh, da, 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 da. All right. Libraries. So that's going to be the default installed. It took me a second there to remember what my default was for this. Okay. trying to see. Libraries, characters, may. Oh, you got to kind of keep your focus. Sometimes I'm being distracted when you're making conversions. So just, converting this from kind of making a DAZ Studio version out of it. Very easy to do. Let's turn that back on for now, just so we can see what we're doing. So we're just going to upfit this to, let's see if it'll let me go all the way. BG holster, that's really all I need out of this. So is M4, damn it, M4 is not supported. So here's what we got to do. We got to put a Genesis, I believe Genesis 3 will take it all the way. Let's see. So we got to go with the lesser figure, Genesis 3 male. Huh, that's funny. I was working on that for my dad character, which actually this will work just fine. That's a Genesis 3 character. Shape doesn't really matter. And we go to poser, shmay. You just got to get that in-between figure to make that leap forward. Bad guy. And all we want is this. And it was for M4 originally. Now it's conformed. Now DAZ Studio is going to look at it as a Genesis 3 figure, and we can go from Genesis 3 to Genesis 8, no problemo. Boom. Alright. Cool. So, now we need to convert those in the quickest, easiest way possible. We need to convert those to, I love how that works, man. That's why I keep my old poser libraries right there. You never know when you're going to need something like that that's still poser. So we're going to go to scripts. Oh. Scripts. So we're going to go utilities. Post converter Riversoft. There we go. When you want to get real, use the Riversoft. So beams. I don't want any of those. Damn, I don't want any of these. Clear. Clear all these. Let's do a scan. So we don't want Genesis Mail. I'll find matches. There we go. Apply presets. And that just gives it a generic shader that comes with that product for the... Okay, now, if we want to get crazy here, you'll note that the version in here is more like black cloth. It's definitely not tan leather. Not that it matters, but, if there's an opportunity to make it more accurate, you might as well, right? So, here we go. We just want to go to leather. Now, I'm going to go to shader presets, and I'm dang sure going to have some leather. You can believe that. Make 3D, iRay, PBS, nope. Omni Freaker, nope. Nope. Let's look at DAZ Studio. Sorry, DAZ Install Manager, and let's type leather shader. I know I have a bunch of these, so. Oh, come on. Let's just type leather then. Leather. Leather. There we go, right there. Leather Sweet Svelte Shaders. Helping for leather. Okay, let's add those. I'm going to install these two. Love me some leather shaders. Okay, let's switch to this for just a second. Hey Reggie, just rocking and rolling. Hey man, thanks. I'm glad you like that character. I'm pretty chuffed about it in general. How it kind of spun off of the movie character. That's cool. Um, I hope that it gets a reception. I'd like to do more stuff like this. This is kind of in our wheelhouse, me and Les. Okay, let's see. So we're back to trying to make this look like dark leather, and we installed some more leather presets. So hopefully we'll be able to see those here in a second. Okay. Reggie, did you ever get into watching any of the tutorials, man? DA, shader presets, Ivory fabrics. If I wanted to make it like a, just kind of a black or blue cloth, that'd be easy to do. Leather Factory is kind of cool. Leather 1, colors, sort of graphite. Let's just do a little bit of a, what you been up to, Reggie? Oh, Reggie, in answer to your question, I'm sorry, just reading up the chat now on the other line, the other PC. So this is a character that's in my film Respawner, and I don't know if I've ever shown you Respawner, but you've certainly heard me talk about it before. It's basically, I'm showing you right now. It'll take it a minute for it to there's a bit of a delay, but basically it's a character from a film I did, and I'm wanting to. I'm actually right now creating a 50 pose pack preset, sort of as a play set to kind of mimic some of these action scenes. And he's just one of the characters. He's a buddy of mine, and I actually got some semi-famous people in this. This guy right here, his name is Matthew Ewald. Pretty well-known actor, actually. Uh, he was the kid that played Nick Bluetooth in a Lego show that my son, ironically, was super into. Um, and Matthew came and did a couple different projects with us. Dude, what didn't work? This is driving me crazy. It 100% works. If you go to the streaming page. Are you talking about your mic and your you talking about your Skype didn't work or your tutorial didn't work? Anyway, I'm sharing the screen of Matthew Ewald right now. You should check him out. He's been in some awesome stuff, but he was in my little old film. But he's most famous for this character right here, um, which is a really cool show that Lego did. This is him, and he's in my respawner film, and he's really kind of only in that film as a little bit of an extra role, playing the main character's father, who also was this kind of demonic superhero. I know that sounds weird, anti-hero, whatever, but he's just kind of in a flashback and that. But he was down, staying with me to play a character in a much bigger part, and in my one of my first films called Indigo Child, which I might have to share with you guys sometime. But anywho, um, this character Thrasher. I'm not going to say the guy's name because he doesn't want to be associated with Halloween-like things because he doesn't celebrate Halloween. Um, right here, good buddy of mine and neighbor. So, um, dude, we got to figure this thing out, man. Call me on Skype right now. If you got your Skype working, call me on Skype. My Skype is up on the streaming machine. You call me and we will figure this out. I sent you a direct link to where you should be able to go and view those tutorials. Now, if you follow that link and you've bought those tutorials, there's definitely a link on that page to watch the tutorials. Now, if you're saying the streaming didn't work, that's a different issue. That's renderosity, but I don't think that's the problem. Yeah, man. So if you go to the your account where you purchased, like on Render Rossi, you go to My Accounts page, you see your orders, you click on it. You're going to see two zip files for that any tutorial you buy, and you might just see one. But in any case, download the smaller one. That's going to have a huh? Dude, can you call me on Skype? I kind of feel like I'm speaking a different language here. All right. Hang on a second here. This doesn't give anything away because if you don't have if you don't own it, it doesn't matter if I give you this link. But you basically go to um, the streaming page, and any product that you have purchased will be there to stream. It's a single URL. I don't know it off the top of my head. Um, all right, hang on a second here. I sent you all this the other day on Skype, by the way. You should be able to look at your messages on Skype and find it as well. I ain't heard my Skype ring yet. Skype is up. Call me. I got Skype up on two machines. There we go. Okay. All right, I'm answering your phone call right now. I hope. Hopefully it won't mess up my stream. Okay, what is going on here? Let me kill a few. This is embarrassing. I gotta kill some stuff here. Running out of memory, I guess. Yo, 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 can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Oh, sweet Mama Flapjacks. So nice to hear your voice, man. Because I kind of feel like I was sort of like communicating from the moon or something. All right, man.
I
So,
know I'm a
so
little raspy because I had an asthma attack last night, but yeah, it's good hearing you,
I'm
man. I was
sorry.
like, ah.
You are
You
on a
know how I feel.
you are on the stream, by the way. Just making you aware of that. But that's it's neither here nor there. Um, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm sorry you're not feeling good. So scroll up and you'll see in this chat that I sent you a link. We got to figure out why you're not able to access this because yeah, if you purchased it, it's gonna actually everything you've purchased is gonna be at that link that I sent you. It just takes me a minute. I should have bookmarked it, but I don't use it because it's my stuff. I don't go there and you know.
Yeah,
Um,
and let me. I'm doing it two ways now because I think on my computer
mhm.
because I got a headset with a mic on it, and then I have the webcam. And I think what's happening is the webcam's interfering with the mic on the headset, so
Uh,
I may have to go.
I can tell you how to, in a second. I'll tell you how to set that up. It's not a problem. You can go into Skype and tell it which one to use for which. Use the webcam for the web. Use the headset for the
Just
yeah the stuff. So that should be cool. And if I can get this,
the phone.
do what now?
That's it. I said Skype goes to the phone. I connected the computer to my phone so I can
I got you.
do it.
What kind are you? So you said you're on a desktop. So yeah, all right,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
cool. I was like losing my mind. I was like, what are you on a Chromebook? I couldn't figure out why you could. I mean, legitimately, Chromebooks, man, they don't have hardly anything. Sometimes if you try to use multimedia with them, then you're SOL because it doesn't have a sound card or I don't know the specifics. I just know they're so cheap and you kind of get what you pay for on those.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's see if we can figure this out. All right, I'm gonna paste in the chat window. You could. This
And
is. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a massive fan of the streaming section there. Let me just double check that this is right before I. Okay, so yeah, all right. So this is the YouTube chat, by the way.
okay, I'm going looking for that right now. Okay, I'm there.
All right, hang
I
on one
see
second.
the chat.
All right, boom. So like that, if you click on that tutorial, go ahead and click on it in the YouTube chat, and then tell me what you see when it comes up, because you should see anything that you purchase, and you'll see a green button on that page that says play video. And
Yes, I see play video on all of them actually. Well, at
okay,
least on is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
yeah. So if you don't have ZBrush, I would say, do you have ZBrush?
No, I don't, but I
Okay,
still want.
yeah, so save the series one is aimed at ZBrush and DAZ Studio, so don't worry about series one until you have ZBrush set up. But starting with Terrain Magic for DAZ Studio series two at one, um, that should be like maybe second row down. That starts showing you how to do all the the hills and valleys and stuff, and it's actually pretty awesome. That's probably my favorite ones we've done because it's all inside DAZ Studio.
Oh, cool, cool.
Click on one of those for me and let me know that it streams. I just want to know that you're able to get it.
Brett, it's a beautiful thing.
Ah, awesome.
The flaming sexes one brain coming out with the little
There you go.
fire spot
Hey
there.
man, hey, you know who did that? It wasn't Les. Let's put it like that.
I thought so. I thought so.
He's in
Okay,
charge.
yeah.
He's in charge of the genius level figuring stuff out inside of that studio. I'm in charge of the sizzle. So
Okay, well,
literally and figuratively.
I guess we both come from the Sizzle Club, so I understand
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm actually working on a really cool product. Well, I hope it's cool. For these two demons I just made. I'm gonna have like a 50 pose set, 50 poses and maybe 10 um, expressions that kind of play out scenes from this movie and stuff, and there'll be like things like the bad guys, getting attacked and attacking back with guns and whatnot. And I don't know, this whole concept of a playset, like I know it appeals to me. It remains to be seen if it appeals to the general public, but that's the idea. And actually, that Abaddon demon just dropped today, so it's pretty sweet.
Oh, okay. Great, because yeah, I was that was my question. I was wondering. I asked on the stream last week when was that coming out, and
Yeah,
now
it, it
now since we can do it this way, I'm thinking, wow, okay, I can actually load these things up into my system. Man, I got a lot of stuff from Renderosity.
yep.
Since it's manual load, I could not load it into DAS. The DAS auto loads and stuff. I couldn't load it into DAS. So I got a ton of your stuff. Especially Miho. I've been dying to get a hold of her.
Oh man, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that figure. I really am. That was a long
Really,
time coming. That was truly a
yeah, I
long
like
time coming.
it good. I was like, yeah, I can play with that character big time. And then, another question I wanted to ask you was about the size of the screens. Like when y'all do a render, because I just do it just big enough. I guess it's I want to say 693 by 493, something like that. Just those little size. Looks like a little JPEG. It's small, but like just like the one for the demon that I'm looking at right now on the screen.
Yeah.
That's a
Well, I'll show you that. Hold on. Let's see here. In the meantime, I am going to give you a present right now. That's why I've
oh,
switched. That's why I have switched over to where they cannot see what I'm sending you in the chat. But go ahead and grab that and install that. See what you think.
okay. Is it
You see it in your
well,
chat? You see it in your chat? I know you're not a.
not yet.
I know. Yeah, it's there. I know you're not a. You're not a. So you got to find your chat. Um,
Oh, I see. Like a little dot thing.
you should see Demon Israfel Final .zip in your chat window. Yeah, and to get into the chat, it's like a little thing with. It's a little chat box with a red. You'll see a red little red dot at the top right of it. It's in the lower right hand corner. It's not the three dots, but it's to the left of that. It says Open Conversation.
Open conversation. Is that the little three dots down there?
All right, to the left of the three dots, what do you see?
Uh, I see like it looks like a bracket dot dot dot. Is that it?
Hmm. Bracket dot dot dot. No. Oh, this is tough to. Let me see here. If I can share my screen. I'm going to share my screen with you for a second. This is just for you, by the way. I got it on the graphic for the stream. All right, let me know when you can see my screen. La 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 la. Do you see my screen? You'll see.
No,
Look, look, look. All right, look in your taskbar, and you'll see a couple different things that have the Skype. You should see at least two logos that have the Skype, and it'll be one of those two logos that shares the screen with you. So, like right now, I'm literally sharing my screen with you.
oh, okay. So this is on Skype.
All right, so you see this right here that I'm mousing over. Do you see my mouse? It's moving.
Yes.
That
Uh
is that is the open conversation. You're going to look on your interface. So this is your interface, um, and so it might look a little different to you. Like it might look like this, right? So you see how you're not seeing anything, but if you click into this, it's going to go there, and then you're going to see open conversation. You click that, and you're going to see this. Go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Go ahead and do that, and that
Give
way
me
I.
1 second. I'm talking to you on my telephone and I'm Skyping you on the computer, and so I couldn't find it. I was like, no, I don't see
Oh, that's
that. I
weird.
said,
We got to fix that. Oh, I just had my first sales for. Oh no, I haven't had the first sale for. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yep, first demon abating sale. Woo! I had a Miho sale and a my storage facility. Yeah,
let's
cool,
see
cool.
now. Did I hit the little zipper? I see
Um,
like a.
Wait a minute. I don't know what you're talking about. So it says demon underscore Israfel dot zip. You click on that,
Uh,
right? That should take you like it'll load whatever browser you have as your default browser. It might be Dropbox, and it'll load up daemon underscore Israfel hyphen final zip, and you'll see two zip files. You click on
yeah, I see.
you click on the zip file, and it'll ask you to sign in, of course, and then there's a place there you can select download.
Okay, I've never been here.
Oh, you're not in Dropbox. You're not hip to Dropbox.
No, but I'll do it.
Oh man, you need to be hip to Dropbox.
I don't know about a lot of things, man.
I know, man. You know that little thing that you're moving around on the screen? That's called a mouse.
Yeah, figured that one out.
You need to go to the library and take some basic internet. Golly, but then again, it's different when you're not you're not used to using the internet. I know a lot of people use the internet on their phone, but obviously. All right, so all right, let me see here. Can you share your screen with me? I wonder. Let's try that. Um, okay. If you let's see here. More options. All right. Are you seeing my screen?
Am I seeing your screen?
Yeah, I shared with you again. So we're moving the mouse around.
I see that.
Okay, so I showed you this is where you open your conversation. So sometimes right here you can click on this and you can because I'm sharing it says stop sharing, but you'll see share screen. If you share that, I can then see your screen and I can maybe talk you through getting this downloaded.
Let's see. Let me try to get back.
There's also sometimes like a link within a link, like it's like a square within a square is another way that icon is displayed depending on which page which. All right, so you still see my screen?
Uh huh.
You see this little thing right here? That is also the screen share. So there's a little box that when you're on a phone call that pops up, and sometimes you don't see it, like it can be hidden. Sometimes it's all you see. You can actually close that. You don't have to have it, but this actually also shares the screen. So if I stop sharing and you hit this, or if you hit, so like now, see, I don't see any of that, and I could just double click on this, take me here, and I would see share screen as an option with that little that little cube, or I could go right here and click on share screen. So I'm gonna unshare my screen, and you try to share your screen.
Um, yeah, let's see. I see the demon thing. It says click on it. It says zip files can't be reviewed from archive. Okay,
All right,
so
so it sounds like you don't have a Dropbox account, so that's one thing. But you know what? Hold on a second. Well, I'll make this simpler. I'll make this simpler. Let me think about this for a second here. Okay, let's see if I got these on my desktop. I could direct file send this to you over Skype, but you do need to get your Dropbox account. That's just a necessity.
yeah,
Um,
I'll set it up.
hang on a second here. All right, I'm gonna make this simple. Is it gonna confuse if I give you like, all right, I'm gonna send you two zip files instead of one big zip file. I'm gonna send you two. That way, it's just simpler for you. All right, so I'm downloading this right now, and I'm gonna send you two zip files. These will be like the commercial version of the Israfel kit. Okay, which you can install. I guess I should talk you through the install too. But anyway, so let's see here. I'm gonna go.
If you want to finish your stream, we can do it later. I mean, that
Well,
sounds good.
that's all I'm doing. This is a working session. I don't really have like a point.
Okay, cool.
You're the only person on it, so I
Yay!
probably won't even leave it up long. But we will go through your render question. Let me go ahead and get this back to. I know you can't. Um, I know you're not seeing my screen right now, but I'm going to drag and drop into the chat window these files, and it's going to send them to you. And once you click on them, they will open up. Now you do understand how to use a zip file, right? We went over that, so I'm hoping you'll be able to manage that.
You can extract it into a file folder, right?
Correct. Now, if you wanted to put like, let me see here. So you could put it into your main Daz Studio folder if you know where it's at. All right, so I'm now transferring those files. You will see them when they show up. Um,
Yeah, I never knew what main dash folder was that. I mean, it's been driving me nuts. I crashed the system. I
I
probably
can
said
I
about
can I can show you how to find that. It's really very easy. But let me so let's not okay, so I'm going to close this chat so they can't see that link that I sent you, and then I'll switch back to showing my screen on the actually what I'll do is I will share my screen on Skype. So let me know that you can see my screen on Skype, and I'll also share it with the stream. That way it's not weird talking about stuff they can't see.
I see the screen on Skype.
Okay, so this is all like, obviously Dropbox and that's my other stuff. So let me get my personal stuff out of the way here. All right, so let's see here. Can you open? All right, so do you install stuff using this install manager, or do you install using smart content? Right now, I don't have smart content on this machine, so I can't show you via smart content.
I don't know whether I have install manager for DAS.
I'm betting you don't, because they don't drive you to that anymore. So open up DAZ Studio if you would.
Okay, okay, open DAS now.
Yep, I'm going to show you how
Okay,
to. I'm going to show you how to determine where your main library is at. Okay.
okay,
Now stop me if I'm moving too fast, because I might do that.
okay.
Um,
Well, I'm starting DAS up.
okay, just let me know when it's up.
It's what is that 4.12 now?
I don't ever recommend having the latest version because that's just you testing it for them. Um, I have
Oh, okay.
411, and that's what I recommend at this moment in time, unless you just want to be adventurous. But
Well, actually, it's working pretty good. I mean, I remember they came up.
sometimes it does. Sometimes it does.
Yeah, they came up with I want to say like about a month before I loaded this thing on. They had like a patch thing where they could, I guess you could hook little things up. Um, what's that guy's name? Mastropheles or something like that. He was playing with it.
I don't know. I don't know who was playing with it.
Yeah, he was playing.
Mastropheles is a friend of mine, but I don't know
Yeah.
I don't know no Mastropheles.
Does he have a British accent?
No, no. You're thinking of somebody different. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, Daz is. I got Daz open.
So you see how I'm in the content library tab right here. I don't know what layout you got either. That's important, but we'll figure that out later. So go to your tab that says content. If you don't see that tab, let me know and I'll tell you how to find it.
What smart content?
Nope, just content.
Just content.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think I know how to go to content. Let's
So
see here.
do you see the content folder?
Content library.
Yep.
Yes, Daz Studio formats, poser formats, other import.
Cool. Okay, cool. Now extend your drop down for your Dash Studio formats.
Okay, for the Daz.
Now you
Okay.
you probably only have one of these, correct?
What's that? Just one? Yeah.
One folder. What's yours called?
It says Daz Studio format. It says Daz Connect, my library. When I came down on it,
Uh-huh. It just says my
it
library.
yeah, it just says let's see. Yeah, it says Daz Connect, my library, my Daz 3D library, and then it says reality.
Expand my Dash 3D library and tell me what's inside of that.
Okay, I think that's the one that carries all the characters, right?
Well, it could be. It depends on how you have it configured. I
Is
you know,
it
I'm a developer, so I
Annie?
don't have mine configured like that.
Okay, it says Annie blocks, animals, camera presets, Dash Studio, documentation.
Okay,
Uh,
okay, okay. Let's go back up. Go to Connect and tell me what Connect says.
they connect. I think that's the Dash one. It says Anablocks, animals, data, Dash Studio, dynamic clothing, dystopia. I guess I'm saying that right. I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Environment,
yep.
figures, hair, lights, presets, lights,
Okay,
materials.
okay. So you're pretty much hardcore using Daz. You're using Daz. You're using Connect primarily. Okay, so let's do this. Let's open up your Windows folder. We're gonna make a just for simplicity and my sanity. When I start, I'm gonna show you how to make a new folder. So let's pick. Tell me about your drives, and you got a big drive somewhere. Let me know which one's the biggest, and we're gonna do something. When you
Okay, the biggest drive.
The biggest drive with the most space on it.
Okay, let's see here. How do I get to that? Man, I tell you, this Windows 10 has really messed me up. I used to be able to go directly to C drive, which I know is the biggest drive.
You don't want to put this on your C drive though, because you'll lose it if you have to format, which you eventually will have to do. So not your C drive, but another drive that you have on there, and the one with the most space on it would be the best.
Uh, Shoot, you're talking rocket science to me right now, and I'm a submarine guy. I'm way under the curve. Let's see. Now, let's say, for example, I do not know. Do I go to this PC network?
You should see if you use the Windows key and the E, you press Windows key and E together, it'll open up a Windows Explorer.
Okay, window key and E together.
Yep, and it should open up Windows Explorer.
Is Micro's Edge?
What's that? No, 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 no. Well, not the browser,
Internet
not Internet Explorer, Windows Explorer.
File Explorer?
Yeah,
Okay,
I just
okay,
call I
I'm
just
back.
call. Okay, so you see computer and you see all your drives, right? Under
See,
uh,
desktop, this PC, downloads, this PC, documents, this PC, pictures, this PC, geometries, PC, document slash runtime, reality.
no, 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 no.
It's like,
No. You're not looking at the right thing. All right, let me share my screen.
okay,
Let me know when you see my screen.
I see you, but I don't see the
So,
screen. I
so
see you.
you see what now?
I see you in the blue shirt.
You see me in the blue shirt.
Yeah.
You need to be seeing my screen, man. You're not looking at the right thing. Then look around, see if you got some tabs or something, because you should be seeing my screen, my actual computer screen.
Okay, this should be. Is this on the whatchamacallit?
This is on Skype.
Okay, this is on Skype.
Yes,
No,
sir.
just let's see. No, I just see you on Skype.
Um,
Seen earlier.
yeah, look around. It's so go back to your main menu and just click on my name or something, and you should see should definitely see me sharing my screen. Oh, hold on, it's not sharing. Let me do it again. All right,
Okay.
cool, cool, cool. All right, let me know when you see it.
Yeah, I see Demon Israel.
Israfel. No, that's the chat. That's the chat. Now, so in the chat, you see the kind of like midway at the top of the screen, you see an X.
And X midway at the top. Oh, wow, this is tough because I need to configure all this stuff the right way. Let's see. This is our actual chat. I see the zips to download them. Let's see. Skype. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I see. I see it.
You see my screen.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I am pressing right now. I am pressing the Windows key, which is the key. It's the for me, it's the second one from the left at the very bottom of the keyboard. Windows key. I'm holding that down and I'm pressing the E key, and this pops up. This is called Windows Explorer, not File Explorer.
Okay.
You see that?
Yes, File Explorer
Yeah.
popped up.
Try to emulate that on. So you did that and it worked for you, right?
Yeah.
So on my screen again, you see I got my C drive, my E drive, my F drive, my G drive. Tell me what you have right here.
Wow, I don't have any of those.
So
I see.
if you got to have your C drive.
No, I don't see C drive yet. Let me find it. I know how.
Does it say my computer or something like that? Or
Let's see. File, File Explorer. Let's see. Let's see. I know I can find the C drive because I've done that. Uh, this PC download. Let's see.
click on this PC and tell me what does that expand out? Do you have a little expansion error?
Let's see. Expand this PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it says 3D objects, downloads, video.
Okay, that's not it
That,
then.
okay, it says Windows C drive,
Okay, what else?
recovery image
Okay, what else?
drive. It says pictures, documents, desktop music, downloads, 3D objects, videos, iCloud photos. It says devices. That's 4 devices.
Okay, let's go to your downloads folder. We'll do this. Let's do it this way.
Okay, downloads.
Downloads folder. Once you're inside the downloads folder, let me know.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay, so in the downloads folder, click on. Do you see? You look at my screen. Do you see new folder right here on yours?
Okay, new folder. Yes, I do.
Click on that and just type 6S1.
Okay. That's SIXUS, and then there's one.
Yep. Now click inside of that folder like you see me doing right here. You see this?
Let's see. Inside the folder. Okay, it says the folder's empty.
Okay, you're right. Do you see you see my screen? I'm about to show
Yep.
you. All right, so what we want is we want to click in there and we want to right click and go copy because we need to know where that's at. That's important.
Okay, right click where?
So like I'm in that empty folder right at the top here. Are you looking at my screen?
Yeah.
I'm clicking right there and it's you see what it does? It highlights that.
What did you click on?
I left clicked. I left click. All right, so if I'm clicking in here and I go up here where it shows computer, local C, users, Brent, downloads 6 is 1 in my case. You see
Uh
that?
huh.
I'm gonna just
Just
left
one.
I'm just gonna left click in that window, boom, and it highlights that. You do that and let me know when you got that done.
Okay. It says when I clicked on the Sexes one at the top, it says copy address.
Yeah, copy
Copy,
address.
copy address. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Windows.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Anyway, so just kind of like minimize this for now. You don't need to worry about it for the moment. Now we're gonna go back to edit. I'm sorry, we're gonna go to file. No, it is edit. In Dash Studio, we're gonna go to edit. We're gonna click on preferences. And let me know when you have this screen loaded up.
That's the. You said edit.
In Dash Studio, we're gonna click on edit, then preferences, and it's gonna load this interface up that you're
Is
seeing.
that in smart content?
Nope, load up maximize. All right, I'm gonna close it again. You see my screen?
Yeah.
Watch me do this, okay? It doesn't really matter which one of these you're in. Doesn't matter, okay? We're gonna go File,
Uh huh.
move over to Edit, right? You see how I've got that menu drop down from Edit. Go down and click on Preferences. You could also just, I think, press
Oh,
Control F2.
okay. Okay. I see what
So
you
you
said.
you get
Like,
to you get to here and tell me when you got to that place.
okay, go file, go down to edit.
hmm
Edit. Now, where do I want to go to?
So now I clicked on Edit and I clicked on Preferences.
Preferences. Okay.
Now do you
And
see?
another
You
step, it says general startup scene
cor-
interface.
correct. At the top, click on Content.
Okay. Click on content.
Yes.
Okay. And it says show files and
Yeah,
tools. Tips.
at the bottom of that page, click on Content Directory Manager.
Okay. Content directory manager.
Uh, cl-
Okay.
right. Click on New Dash Studio Formats. You see how I've got that highlighted right there? It's kind of like dots around it. It's not the typical highlight.
Uh
Then
huh.
click.
Go ahead. I'm learning something.
Yeah.
I can hey, give me 1 second, Brett. How can I help you? Where's Luis? I don't know. He's on the job site right now. Yeah.
hmm
Benito? He was huh? Around? Who? Benito? No, he's not here. No. All right. No. You want to try to call him? You want to try to call him? No, nothing. I'll come back. Okay. I was looking for Benito too. Oh, okay. No, he's not here either. You know the person on the rock? No, I don't. I don't know. I'll tell him you came by. You're Martin's son, right? Martin? Let me give you his card real quick. That way you can send him a text. Because if he's on a job site, he won't answer. Just send him a text on his number. All right, have a good one, man. Okay, Brett. Hello?
Uh,
Hello?
hey, yeah. Okay.
Hello?
Yup. You hear me?
Hello?
Yo. All right.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
I had to mute you because I didn't want your business going all over the internet.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. No.
Okay. So are we? Look at my screen again and
Okay.
tell me if we are there.
Okay. Yes, we
And
are.
you have you have DAV Studio highlighted, right?
Uh-huh. Let's see. That studio.
You see how in the Content Directory Manager I got DAV Studio formats. There's a yellow, uh, you know, a yellow box.
Uh-huh.
I've clicked on that. That's important.
Okay, is that the content sets?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's content sets, and I've got DAV Studio formats clicked on.
okay, that's see which one. Let's see.
It's the third from the top. CMS Cluster, CMS Connect Data, and then DAV Studio formats.
Okay, that's studio formats. Yeah, I clicked on that one. Now I see three.
Okay, just let me take you from there. So like if you were doing a poser install, you would click on. If you were adding a poser library, you'd click on poser. This is DAV Studio. Um, so we're a DAZ Studio. We're telling it this is going to be a DAZ Studio library we're adding, right? Now we're going to
Okay.
click on the Add button. Let me know when you have this pop up.
Which button?
The
The add.
ADD button, Add.
Is that a plus sign?
Nope, it's in the left-hand side. It says Directory, Add. It's one of the only ones that's highlighted in the left side of that Content Directory panel.
Okay. Now, which one do I click on? The users, Reggie, original. Let's go back one step where we're at the Dash Studio formats and it broke down. It says
All right,
C slash
that
original,
that
C
no,
slash.
no. Listen. Oh,
Okay.
so we got Content Directory Manager panel up. Okay, that's the little
Uh-huh.
pop-up panel. It's not the Preferences panel. It's the Content Directory Manager panel, and you should see Current Directory, CMS Cluster, DAS Connect Data, DAS Studio formats, Poser formats, other formats. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, not just on my screen, like your screen matches, right?
Okay. I see the Dash. The So the one that's highlighted is Dash Studio formats.
Yes. Now with that highlighted, watch this. Watch my screen now. I'm going to click on ADD right here under Directory. Do you see my mouse?
Yeah, at the far left hand, we're under directory.
Yeah, I'm clicking Add. Boom. And then that's going to bring up this interface.
Okay. Yeah.
Select a directory. And right here, I'm going to left click and then I'm going to press Control V, and that's going to take me to that folder we just created, right?
Okay. So left click, Control V,
Yes.
Control V. Nothing's happening with Control V. CTRL is control, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That means you didn't copy the address before. But anyway, you can navigate, but you're going to navigate to that place that you created the folder, and that's kind of like on you, where wherever you put that, because you have a different system. I believe it was in your downloads folder. I know that much. So
Is it
inside,
paste?
huh?
I see the 6 is 1. I
Okay,
just hit paste.
okay,
Popped up in.
that's fine. Now, once you have that in this address bar, look at my screen one more time. If yours matches this and has your 6s1 right there, then all you have to do is go back down here to where it says Select Folder. Click on Select Folder. Let me know when you've done that.
Click on select folder. Where's select folder?
It's the bottom right of that interface.
Okay. Okay. Select folder.
Now, you see this on the Content Directory Manager. Click Accept.
Uh-huh.
Click Accept again on the Preferences. It's going to spin for a second to add that to see, it's going to scan that library. And then
Okay.
you're gonna hit Accept again. And when you've done that, let me know.
It went back to the original dash screen.
That's fine. Now, under DAZ Studio, if you click this tick for it to go down, you should now see a 6s1 folder in here. I already had one, so.
Click dash format, studio format.
Yes.
Okay. And I do see a 6 is 1.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Now, I'm gonna change my screen here, and you're gonna go back and you're gonna download and just go into Skype and find those links that I sent you. Right? You see my screen
Okay.
now? Did you see how I got back to that? By the way, like look at my
No.
screen. Look at my screen. Do you see my screen?
Yeah, that's it.
Mysteries will be revealed. Look at this. I'm mousing over Skype. I'm going right here. You see that?
No, it don't.
Do you see my screen?
I see your screen.
All right. What you see that like so that's Dad Studio. That's
Uh,
Skype. Okay. So as I mouse over Skype, it says RJ. That's the interface with the person I'm talking to. And you
yeah.
see my mouse is going down to the bottom right hand. There's a little symbol there that says Open Conversation, and the fact that there's a red dot there tells me there's something there that's new to look at. Do you see that?
It's a red dot. But
You
what
know,
I see when I went to Skype, I see the download files.
that's fine. That's all I'm trying to do is get back. I was just trying to show you how to get back to that. So download these two files. You know, click on download for each of those, and when one of those is ready to install, let me know. It's not possible for those both to be 136. That might not be right. Let me look at that. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Don't download. Just download one of those. One of those is
Download.
off. Actually, you know what? Hold on a second. That's definitely off. Delete. Delete. You know what? Ignore those two files for a second. I'm gonna do this a different way. I'm just gonna send you the one that's got both of them inside of it. I was trying to make it easier for you to understand, but
Okay.
that failed. That failed miserably. All right, so I'm gonna go back to here. This last one is gonna say daemon Israfel hyphen final. It's 136 megabytes, and inside of it, it has two. When you unzip a file that has zip files inside of it, you know how to go into the other files. Like you don't just unzip the zip files, you go into each one and unzip it, right? I'll talk you
I
through. I'll
used to
talk you
do
through it.
that with Poser. Yeah, I used to do that with Poser, and to me it was easy because it was like, okay, you open the file up, runtime goes to runtime, geometries goes to geometries. You know, it was real simple. You just drop them in, boom, 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 and you know it would start off the PZ3. You know, all of that. I mean, this is like, of course, I'm talking like 20 something years ago.
20 years ago ain't as long as it used to be. I tell you what.
Tell me about it.
All right, watch that download. I'm going to take a bio break. I'll be right back, and then I'll help you unzip this, and then I'll show you some dev stuff. BRB.
All right.